YouTuber, the Unapologetic Negropean asked for feedback on his recent video that he uploaded about MaryJane Byarm possibly adopting the Chinese mindset. The link to the video is in the description area. Before we reply to his video, we'd like to address those of you who questioned why we chose to use this artificial voice. We have two answers for you. Number 1, this is an anonymous channel. We tried altering our natural voices on the first few videos, but we didn't like the sound, so we decided to use an artificial voice. It's for privacy reasons. Before putting yourself out there on social media, you need to test the waters. We have careers that we want to keep. If the artificial voice is a problem for you, please mute the video and read the English captions. Number 2, because we are anonymous, we can address some of the issues that your favorite YouTubers are too afraid to cover, or they just don't care to cover. For example, not many YouTubers with large platforms are willing to talk about alleged scammer, MaryJane Byarm, but because we're anonymous, we can talk about her. We don't have to worry about her angry supporters approaching us in public. So again, the two reasons are, for privacy reasons, and because we're anonymous, we'll be able to address topics that your favorite large YouTubers may not address. Now we'd like to react to the Unapologetic Negropean's video about MaryJane Byarm, which sounded like a love letter to us. It sounded like he was letting her know that he's in London and if she needs somewhere to hide out, he's available. Just our opinion. That's the main reason why we uploaded this video. We wanted to call you out on your cringy behavior. If you're watching this, please take a cold shower. You sound like you're offering her a place to hide out from her alleged victims while she's on the run, and we all know what you're expecting as payment for room and board. Please stop embarrassing yourself. In your video, you talked about Black Americans being triggered by MaryJane Byarm's refusal to admit that racism exists outside of America. You basically said that she adopted her attitude about racism from the Chinese, but we disagree. We are Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, and we believe that she says she hasn't experienced racism outside of America because she truly believes she hasn't. It's really not that deep. She does not believe she has experienced racism in other countries. People need to accept this and move on. Focus on the alleged scamming. Most Black Americans have never traveled internationally, and a lot of us who have our first-generation international travelers. We are used to living in a country where race is a big deal. We are used to existing as Black people in an anti-Black society, period. The gatekeepers of our race here in the US program us to believe that the world is anti-Black. We're programmed to believe that everyone is against us. The victim mentality is one of our many survival tactics. That's how we've survived in this country for centuries. Unfortunately, we have not evolved. We still believe that the average non-Black person despises us in this country. Most people are just trying to earn a living and raise their families in peace, but because we're raised with the victim mentality, we believe people spend their time obsessing over us. We still believe that if we visit another country, people will automatically discriminate against us because we're Black. That's what happens when you're raised in an anti-Black society. That's our mentality. That's why people like MaryJane Byarm trigger Black Americans when they say they don't experience racism abroad. We can't process that. It's incomprehensible to us because again, we're taught that everyone hates us. We're taught that we're helpless little victims. The average Black American doesn't realize that, once we leave this country, we are Americans first. We are not the poor Black victims who need to be coddled and protected. We are seen as wealthy Americans. Again, because of our collective victim mentality in this country, we don't understand that American privilege applies to us. We don't understand that we benefit from American privilege. As a matter of fact, we don't realize that we are the wealthiest and most powerful Black people in the entire world. That's how long we've had this collective victim mentality. We are taught to function as a collective. So, if we're told that the world hates us, we're triggered when a Black American, like MaryJane Byarm, reports the opposite back to us. We're not thinking, oh, well, that's her story, those are her experiences. That's her life. That's not how we think. We think, oh, she must be lying because we have been told that we're hated and we're going to experience rampant racism abroad. The truth is, either she hasn't experienced racism abroad like she said, or maybe she has experienced covert racism and she didn't realize that it was racism. We don't think it has anything to do with the Chinese mentality. We think she just shared her personal experiences with us, but because we've been programmed to believe the opposite, we believe she's lying to us. That's our mentality here. That's how we think. That's why a lot of Black Americans are triggered. It is backwards thinking, and it's definitely something that we need to rid ourselves of. It's not going to happen overnight, but we do need to start deprogramming and reprogramming ourselves. We also need to stop functioning as a collective and stop shaming and bullying black people who don't think the way we think. We don't want to get political on this channel, but there are some black people who believe that any black person who isn't a Democrat is a self-hater, when the Democratic Party hasn't done anything but kept black Americans in a state of perpetual poverty and victimhood. Again, backwards thinking. It has taken us centuries to get here, so we're not going to be able to fix this mess overnight, but we'll fix it, eventually. Also, something else that you haven't considered, DUN, is that MaryJane Byarm was sheltered growing up, and she didn't have the same black experience that many of us had, and some of us don't understand that. We automatically label black people like her as anti-black because she does not embrace her blackness the way we believe she should embrace it. We attack black people like her to force them to conform, and in the process, some of them end up becoming anti-black. We don't get it. Instead of teaching them how to embrace their blackness, we attack them for not embracing it, and the attacks lead to their hatred of their blackness. We expect every black American to be proud. We expect every black American to embrace being black, but we fail to understand that not every black American is raised in an environment where they're taught how to do that. And to add insult to injury, these jealous women who are obsessed with her hair texture are using this alleged scamming incident as an opportunity to get back at her for having the nerve to love her hair texture. Any black American who embraces anything other than dark skin and type 4C hair is accused of being anti-black, which is ridiculous because black people are not a monolith. We have different skin colors, hair textures, facial features, eye colors, etc. And dark-skinned women, specifically, appear to be offended by her because they believe she is othering herself when it's very clear that that's just how she was raised. Some women are so insecure and entitled that they just don't get it. We have witnessed them push her to the point of lightening her skin and surrounding herself with lighter women, which are natural responses, in our opinion. It's like crabs in a barrel. They view her as the crab that got away, and they're trying to pull her back into that barrel. She avoids them because of that. Again, it's a natural response. Why would anyone want to identify and associate with people who do nothing but harass them due to their own insecurities? Again, we are not surprised that she chooses to surround herself with lighter women. It's like they're angry because she doesn't want to surround herself with insecure women who bully her because she has the audacity to exist without believing that her dark skin is a disability. We're not therapists, but we believe MJ needs therapy, and she needs to be held accountable for allegedly scamming people, but she's not the only one who needs help. This alleged scamming incident has exposed just how insecure and unstable some of these people are, and they're using this situation as an opportunity to justify their hatred of her because they're jealous of her. They don't care about the women who were scammed. They care about making her pay for having type 3 hair and for having the audacity to not be another dark-skinned perpetual victim. People online are wasting time on irrelevant nonsense instead of focusing on the real issue here. She has allegedly scammed almost 24 women out of their hard-earned money, and she needs to be held accountable. Please stay focused, people. That's the real issue here. No one cares about her hair texture. No one cares about her skin color or race. People want their money back. They want her to be held accountable in a court of law. So please find a better way to deal with your insecurities. Again, this was a reply to the Unapologetic Negropean's video as well as a response to the insecure women who refuse to accept that not every black woman has 4C hair, and dark-skinned women have the right to not view their skin color as a deterrent in life. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.